name is Umaru Ibrahim. I work for Triumph newspaper based in Kano. And I want to say that whoever listens to you objectively, we agree that you actually have something to offer, no doubt about that. But since politics, 1 plus 1 in politics does not give you 1. Sometimes it can give you 11 or even 100. If for whatever happens, you don't win this election, and whoever emerges extend invitation to you to serve, to enable you to implement these brilliant ideas in the interest of Nigerians. We do welcome the idea. Thank you very much.
Well, let me tell you the problem of Nigeria. Let me tell you the problem of Nigeria. There's nothing called 1-to-1 11 in politics. That's actually the problem of Nigeria. The complexity of the people who are hired. If you have a company, my brother, will you hire somebody who is incompetent? And then allow him to now hire somebody who is not. So it is the problem. You don't go and get a conductor and say the conductor should be driving. Let the driver be at the back and advising him. We want the driver to be in the steering and conductor to be where conductors stay. And that is the only one we want.
This is the major problem with Nigeria, honestly. Majority of Nigerians see politics as a sports competition, just like football or maybe the boxing match. They approach elections and political debates the same way football fans, with emotions, blind loyalty and rivalry. They don't see politics as a serious national process of hiring competent people to work for them, which is actually what politics is supposed to be. In reality, politics is the process of choosing who will manage our collective resources, who will make policies that affect our economy, our education, our healthcare, our security, and our daily lives. But unfortunately, many Nigerians do not see it this way. They see it like a game where we play against each other, and whichever team wins, everybody claps, laughs, and life goes on. But politics isn't like that. In football, when your team loses, you may feel bad for a few hours, maybe a day or two. But after that, life goes back to normal. Your pocket doesn't change, your rent doesn't increase, the price of food doesn't rise. But in politics, whoever wins an election determines the direction of your life for the next 4 or 8 years. Their decisions can make you poorer or richer. They can make your business thrive or collapse. Their leadership can determine whether your children will have access to good schools or not, whether you will have stable electricity or continue buying fuel every day. That is why this mindset of treating politics like a sport is very dangerous. Because unlike football, politics has direct practical consequences on our lives. The people we elect will either move the country forward or drag it backward. Yet, many Nigerians don't think deeply about this before voting. They vote based on emotions, on religion, on tribe, or on who their friends and family support. You see, because of this mindset, many Nigerians see politics from the angle of tribal and religious sentiment. They believe that once someone from their ethnic group or their religion wins, they have won. They don't care whether that person is competent or has the capacity to deliver. They don't care whether the so-called victory will make their lives better or worse. All that matters to them is that our person has won. They celebrate as if they've won a trophy. They dance, they post on social media, and they defend that person blindly, even when it becomes clear that the person is not performing. And that's exactly why we find ourselves where we are today. That same mindset makes Nigerians defend bad governance. They see it as protecting their victory, as protecting their own. Even when they are suffering from bad leadership, they prefer to defend failure than to admit that the person they supported is not doing well. You'll hear them say things like, "At least he's our person," or "Others did worse." That's how we normalize failure and allow bad governance to continue unchecked. If you check the man that asked this question, you will notice something interesting. You'll see that he actually acknowledged that Peter Obi is good, that Obi is competent, disciplined, and has a track record. But it may shock you to know that despite recognizing all of that, he may not campaign or even vote for him. Why? Because of the same reasons I've just explained: tribal and religious bias. Once he's not their person, they simply switch off, no matter how qualified the candidate is. This is one of the biggest challenges we face as a country. So what's the way forward? How do we begin to change this deeply rooted mindset? I seriously believe that advocacy groups and civil society organizations need to step up. We need a serious, structured, and continuous campaign for voter education, not just about how to vote, but about why we vote. Nigerians must be made to understand that elections are not about sentiments, but about survival. The person you put in office will decide whether your children will have a future or not. So we must educate the public on what good governance means and why competence should come before tribe or religion. Ordinarily, this is supposed to be the work of the National Orientation Agency, NOA. That's what they were created for, to sensitize, educate, and inform Nigerians on issues of national importance. But sincerely speaking, I don't think they are living up to expectations. The agency has been almost invisible for years. You hardly hear from them except during official ceremonies. Meanwhile, this is the time they should be leading a nationwide conversation about mindset change in politics. But since they are not doing it, other groups have to step in. This is where the obedient movement can come in strongly. The movement has already shown that it can mobilize people, spread awareness, and drive conversations across regions, religions, and ethnic groups. So they should now take this as a major assignment. The obedient movement should begin organizing conferences, town hall meetings, and awareness campaigns focused on voter education, not just online, but physically across every state and region in Nigeria. There should be sessions that explain to people why governance matters more than sentiment, why competence should come before tribe or religion, and how citizens can hold leaders accountable. This campaign should start early, not a few months before the 2027 elections. It should start now as we prepare for 2027. Let people begin to unlearn and relearn. Let them begin to understand that politics is not about my person, but about the right person. The party Peter Obi will run under in 2027 should also make this one of its key priorities: massive orientation and political education. Because if people remain uninformed, even the best candidate will lose to sentiment and propaganda. Finally, I want to say this: thanks so much for your time and attention. Always remember that a new Nigeria is possible. Yes, it's not going to be easy because changing mindset takes time, but it is possible. And it starts with you and I. It starts with the way we educate others and the kind of leaders we support. The future of this country depends on how well we learn to choose competence over sentiment. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep educating. Let's keep believing, because truly, a new Nigeria is possible.